According to MyMove.com, almost 16 million people left big cities and temporarily moved during the COVID-19 pandemic in the United States. A similar thing happened to me. When it was during COVID-19, or when I was 6, I had to move to Shenzhen from Hong Kong because of my dad's job. While I was excited to explore a new environment, I was also worried about adapting to unfamiliar surroundings. Hi, my name is Shun, and today I'm here to share what lessons I learned by changing environments. Originally, I thought that Hong Kong and Shenzhen were very similar because it is right next to each other. However, I quickly realized that I had to start learning Mandarin when starting elementary school. This was hard for me because I had been using Cantonese when I was in Hong Kong. Soon, I realized that there were actually a lot of differences between Hong Kong and Shenzhen. For example, the car's driver's seat was on the opposite side. Riding the metro seemed just easier and faster. And people seem to use the shopping malls more often. Plus, when I was in Hong Kong, I never needed to check if I had COVID-19 or not daily. Moving to Shenzhen started out incredibly challenging. I had a new home, a new school, I didn't know anyone, it was during a pandemic, so I stayed mostly indoors. I was a 6-year-old going through major changes. But little by little, I started adjusting to the new environment by simply having a positive mindset. According to one study by homework.study.com, the first things you need to do when you change your environments is to realize why the change was needed. I understood that I just moved. So the longer I was in Shenzhen, the more I got ready to change. Speaking Mandarin and writing it was way more simpler than Cantonese. We no longer needed to check if we had COVID-19 or not. And Sheko International School was actually very fun, and I got to make a lot of new friends. Plus, I got nearer to my cousins because they lived in Shenzhen. There are a few things that you can do when you change your environments. First, you can ask how people in your new environments do things, like how they make changes, how they communicate to each other, or simply how they live. You can also think, how's your new environment different or similar to your old environment? When people realize that point, they can relax because they won't know what to expect. Even though my life had changed a lot, I still figured out a way to get used to it. That was when I thought that changing environments weren't that hard. Changing environments can also be extremely exciting because you get to do a lot of new things that you have never done before. It can be an opportunity to have a new experience. A lot of people had to move at least once in their life. Anytime when you change your environment, just be ready and always make sure you feel safe. Even if people change environments, there will always be one or more times where you will get to know more about the new environment and feel included. Remember, you've got this. Thank you very much.